Hi, I'm Kathleen Kennedy, and I'm the producer of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Today, you'll be working with one of our stars, BB-8. BB-8 is a spherical droid. Everything he does and every movement he makes is controlled by computer software. Computer science impacts every industry, from marketing to healthcare to film. In fact, hundreds of computer engineers work together to make a film like The Force Awakens.
Hi, I'm Rachel Rose. I'm a senior R&D engineer at ILM, and I lead the animation and creature development team. In The Force Awakens, I'm responsible for helping the artists develop rigs, which are the parts of the character that move, that allow the character to look very believable in a galaxy far, far away. In the next hour, we're going to build our own Star Wars game that will teach you the basic concepts of programming. Usually programming is all text, but we're going to use blocks here so that we can drag and drop to write the programs. Under the hood, you're still creating code. After you try the basics with blocks, we'll switch you to JavaScript, one of the most popular programming languages on the web. To start off, we're going to work with Ray to program BB-8 to walk to collect all of the scrap parts. Your screen is split into 3 parts. On the left is the Star Wars game space, where code will run. The instructions for each level are written below the game space. This middle area is the toolbox, and each of these blocks is a command that BB-8 can understand. The white space on the right is called the workspace, and this is where we're going to build our program. If I drag the move left block to our workspace and press run, what happens? BB-8 moves left 1 block on the grid. And what if I want BB-8 to do something after the move left block? I can add another block to our program. I'm going to choose the move up block, and I'll drag it underneath my move left block until the highlight appears, and then I'll drop it, and the 2 blocks will snap together. When I press run again, BB-8 will perform the commands that are stacked from top to bottom on our workspace. If you ever want to delete a block, just remove it from the stack and drag it back into the toolbox. After you've hit run, you can always hit the reset button to get BB-8 back to the start. Now, let's get rolling.
Can we go back? This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up.
Inside the blocks we've been using are JavaScript commands. JavaScript is the most popular software language for professional developers today. Blocks are a great way to get started learning to code. And in fact, top universities like Harvard and Berkeley start teaching this way. But once we've learned the basics, engineers write code by typing because it allows us to go faster. We can type hundreds of commands without having to find them in the toolbox or drag them out. Because you're learning, typing may be slower at first, but we wanted you to give it a try. In the upper right corner on your workspace, you can click the Show Text button on any puzzle to switch from blocks to typing code as text. In the next lesson, we'll start you out in typing mode. Here you can still drag the block from the toolbox, or you can type the command name. As you start to type, you'll see names of possible commands show below where you're typing. Instead of typing the whole command name, you can select one of these to move faster. In my job, I use this autocomplete feature all the time when writing code. When you're typing code, the computer needs you to be very precise. You need to spell and capitalize the command name exactly correctly, including the parentheses and the semicolon. Even with a small typing mistake, BB-8 cannot understand the code and won't be able to move. When you make an error on the line, the editor highlights it for you so that you can try changing your text to fix it. If you get stuck, you can always start over with the Start Over button, and you can switch back to block mode at any time by clicking in the top right corner. Okay, let's give typing a try. And if you make mistakes, don't get frustrated. It takes everyone a few tries to get it right.
Well, hello, my name is Sharita Carter. I am a senior creative producer here at Walt Disney Imagineering. I'm responsible for leading teams that actually produce the attractions that our guests get to experience. So we are always looking for ways that we can improve and make a better experience for our guests, and technology is at the heart of that. Congratulations, you did it. You programmed BB-8. Now I think we're ready for something harder. Let's go for it. Now that you've learned the basics of programming, we're going to go back in time to build your own game, starring R2-D2 and C-3PO. To make a game, we need to learn about something that game programmers use every day. They're called events. Events tell your program to listen or wait for when something happens. And then when it does, it performs an action. Some examples of events are listening for a mouse click, an arrow button, or a tap on the screen. Here, we're going to make R2-D2 move up to deliver a message to a Rebel pilot, and then move down to the other Rebel pilot. We'll use events to make him move when the player uses the up-down arrow keys or the up-down buttons. We use the when-up event block and attach the go-up block to it. When the player presses the up arrow key, the code attached to the when-up block is run. And we'll do the same thing to make R2-D2 move down. To do this, we'll use a command called when-up. When you drag the command out of the toolbox, you'll see that it starts and ends with a curly bracket instead of a semicolon. This gives us space to put other commands in the middle. Every command we put in these brackets will run when the player presses the up arrow. We want R2-D2 to go up, so let's put a go up block inside the command. And we'll do the same thing to make R2-D2 go down. Now, instead of writing all of the code to control our droid in advance, we can let R2-D2 react to button press events that move him around the screen. Step by step, your game is getting more interactive.
Question labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people.
Hi, my name is Alice, and I run the product and engineering teams here at code.org. And I worked on this tutorial that you're playing through right now. And you just made it to the last level. Congratulations. You just learned everything you need to know to make your own Star Wars game. Now, there are no more instructions, no puzzles to solve. You can make your own game, and you choose how it works. One more thing. You've unlocked new sounds and new commands to do even more.
So we made a game, basically, where you get points when you get puffer pigs. The twist is every time you get a puffer pig, a stormtrooper appears.
Eventually the whole screen's full of puffer pigs, and then I think when you touch 10,000 of them, the game ends.
We made a game where you can't lose and everything you kill gives you points.
For my program, I reverse the keys, so whenever you click up, your character goes down. Whenever you click right, your character goes left. So it's really...
Because sometimes you just get an advantage, an inherent advantage when you're the developer of the game.
Did I get it?
Yay!
Oh, yes, I did it. When you're done making your game, choose Share. To get a link, you can share with friends or play your game on your phone. Have fun.